Good morning there, ladies and germs. So last weekend we did a fun little project of putting the Speed Engineering True Duals full 3-inch exhaust system all the way out the back, not the one that does the axle dumps. Some of you may have seen the shorts that I put up on the first startups with the new exhaust system on there, and man, it's a pretty nice kit for $400 or $499, whatever it is, for a full 304 stainless exhaust system for under $500. That's a pretty impressive deal. We didn't film physically installing it because really there's not a lot to see or nothing very exciting about watching somebody wrestle with a bunch of pipes. But I do want to go over how we installed it as kind of an overview, because there's no instructions in the box, which isn't the end of the world, but first thing everybody does is go online to try and figure out how to install this damn thing, because there's a lot of hangers, and they're not stock hangers. So let's go over that real quick, and then maybe we'll do a cold start and go for a ride. A lot of you are probably going to ask why only the back is on wheel cribs and not the front, and that's mainly just because I was working on this torque arm cross member right here, and I only needed the thing up in the air for just a little bit. When we did the full exhaust system, it was all 4 wheels on the wheel cribs, and it was so nice to be able to have room under here. So starting from the front, the first thing that I want to show you guys and highly recommend, if you're going to put one of these exhaust systems in your Camaro or Firebird, switch the header collectors to V-bands. Don't use any kind of the clamps. If you have to, use the band clamps that are like this wide, but even that I don't recommend. You do not want exhaust leaks in this area on your car. It will affect the oxygen sensors. It will affect the wideband sensor. As a matter of fact, we even welded up these joints right here. Once you get back to about here, any little exhaust leaks back there, they might cost you a couple horsepower, but they're not going to at least affect your O2 sensors. And yes, I literally just booger welded these V-bands in with my MIG welder, and it works just fine. They'll never break. This isn't a show car. I just need it to work. My welds actually aren't horrible. You kind of have to treat it like body work, where you're just kind of stitch welding it. If you try and just, at least with the old school MIG welder, non-computer controlled, you'll blast holes right in it. So this joint's welded, no clamps. This joint is welded. We did use the port on the driver's side for our already existing wideband. Here's the X pipe. If you don't have an aftermarket torque arm, you won't have any problems in this area right here trying to get the exhaust system to clear underneath the car. Moving back a little bit further, the X pipe is really close to the floor right here. And then we went ahead and dimpled this pipe right here for the seatbelt bolt. Not a big deal. It's 3-inch exhaust. There's plenty of flow. We maintain these clamps in the system instead of welding this up, because you need to have some places in your exhaust system where you can disassemble the exhaust for future maintenance. We thought about putting V-bands right here, but there's just simply no room in between these two pipes where this is welded together right here. So we just stuck with the clamps that are provided in the kit, and it works just fine. There's no real exhaust leak right here, but you do get a little bit of condensation in the mornings. Moving back a little bit further, apparently this hanger right here was an afterthought, and it's an afterthought in a good way. So you have to go inside the car and go behind the rear passenger seat and put in a longer bolt in this hole, and then you bolt this new hanger onto it. And what this does is this clamp right here, it holds this whole back section of the exhaust system up as high as possible so that you're not constantly dragging this section of exhaust on the ground. This car is lowered, so it's probably going to scrape on the ground eventually. The two pipes are married together right here. And then the two pipes are married together right here. You have a little bit of adjustability with these two bolts. On the over the axle pipes, we stayed clamped mostly out of convenience. It'd be very difficult to weld these up. These are gorilla torqued with the impact. Probably 2 or 3 ugga-duggas. You don't want these coming loose, and they need to stay tight. You can see all the horrendous exhaust leaks that this car used to have with its erector set exhaust system. There's staining on the floorboards from the exhaust leaks. There's one right there. There's one right here. Big old leak right here. You want to minimize those. Okay, moving all the way to the back. With this True Duals kit, you're going to have to buy one of the Panhard rod brace kits, aftermarket Panhard brace. And it bolts on right here, and then you get this brace. That brace comes over here and is bolted to the chassis up here. There is no other way to get this 2 3-inch pipes through this over the axle without this brace right here. And that lowers the Panhard rod or track bar down a little bit. I don't think it's going to affect the handling at all. Even though the Panhard rod's no longer parallel with the ground, it is downhill just a little bit to the passenger side. Okay, here's another sticking point on Camaro and Firebird exhaust systems. They almost always have this joint right here. Here comes Dexter. This joint right here is almost always problematic on Camaro and Firebird exhaust systems. No matter what brand it is, it always seems to want to squirm around and move. So what we ended up doing was just tack welding front and back. This would probably be a good candidate for a V-band, but not worth wasting a V-band on. And then probably the most confusing part to this whole thing that doesn't have instructions is, where do the 4 additional hangers go? So there's one on each side on the rear subframe that bolts onto existing holes. So that's where this hook goes. There is a counterpart on the passenger side, and yes, the hangers do hang kind of weird. This pipe right here, the clamp is in fact touching the body. Much to my surprise, it doesn't seem to buzz or vibrate going down the road. Now, the aft most hangers that come in the kit, they get bolted to the nuts for the rear bumper assembly. Hopefully you can see up in there. I think the hardest part about putting this exhaust system together is fighting with all these hangers, getting everything level, getting the tips level. Getting all that to your liking is definitely the hardest part. We did end up tacking this exhaust tip onto the muffler, but in a way that we can cut it off easily if need be. This side we were able to just jam down with the clamp. Many ugga-duggas. Make sure it doesn't come loose. Another reason we didn't weld the tips on is because there's a chance we're going to change these mufflers out to the Borlas to just tone this system down a little bit. These two little bullet mufflers is all this exhaust system has for mufflers, and you're talking about a twin 3-inch tube exhaust with long tubes and no kitties. It's pretty loud. I can't think of anything else. I'm thinking let's go ahead and put this thing back on the ground, and we'll crack her off. See how loud it is.